Hey, it's Brett Gregory. So excited to be here with you today. If you're just joining us, please tell us what city and country you're tuning in from so I can give you a shout out. And I've got an awesome presentation for you today. I'm going to show you how we have used webinars to do over $750,000 in sales in the last, let's see, 18 months. And if you are interested in getting, learning how we use webinars and learning how to make a winning presentation where you can speak to sell, and this could be online, it could be in person, it could be anywhere where you're gonna give your own keynote speech. If you're interested in getting this template that you're looking at here, and learning how to give your own keynote speech where you can do the kind of sales that we did, as I mentioned, over $750,000 over the last 18 months, then go in and write the word template. If you're interested in getting this webinar template, go in and write the word template. So T-E-M-P-L-A-T-E. And hey, John from Reno, Nevada, welcome. So if you're just joining us, go and put in your city and country of where you're tuning in from. Kenneth is from San Francisco. Hey, Kenneth, good to see you back. Hey, Mari. Mari wants a template. Kenneth wants a template. Hey, Pam, John. Good, awesome. Michelle, how are you? Where are you from, Michelle, John, Pam? Where are you guys tuning in from, as well as Mari? Hey, Ruth. Ruth Clarence is from Canada. Hey, Pam from Atlanta. Good to see you here. Mari's from Philadelphia. Exclamation point. Awesome. Good to see you, all of you voters here turning out. Awesome. This is great. And let's see, Michelle is from Ashland, Oregon. And by the way, today is voting day in the United States. So if you are a registered voter in the US and you have voted, go ahead and write the words, I voted. Just want to see who our voters are in here. I don't need to know who you voted for. This is not political, but let's just, so let's jump in here. And what I'd like to know, because what we're going to be talking about today is how you can create your own keynote presentation. This is the keynote presentation, and I say the word keynote. Not to be confused with the Mac software called Keynote. There's a reason why it's called Keynote, because if you're going to give your keynote presentation, you can use it. And of course, the Microsoft version is called PowerPoint. But when I'm using the word keynote here in the context of, if you plan on giving a keynote talk somewhere someday, tell me where you would most like to give, or let me say that a different way. Tell me what topic you would most like to give your keynote talk on. So go ahead and write in the questions box right now. Tell us what topic you would most like to give your keynote talk on. So for example, if I'm going to be teaching how to make 6 figures and live and work from anywhere, that would be an example of the topic that I would be teaching, make 6 figures working from anywhere. What is your topic that you're going to teach on? Maybe you teach business building. Maybe you'd like to give a keynote topic on relationships. Maybe you'd like to give a keynote speech on dating advice or weight loss or improving your health or eating naturally. Whatever that is, tell me what the topic is. So John wants to give a keynote on benefits of estate planning. Awesome, John. Tell me who, or like, what is your audience there? So who and where would you most like to give that talk to? So for example, maybe you would like to give that talk to human resources directors, at a SHRM meeting, like an SHRM meeting, or maybe you would like to give that talk at a meeting where you think there would be lots of wealthy older people who would be interested in the benefits of estate planning. So tell us that, John. Ray wants to do a keynote on the benefits of going green. Awesome. So Ray, who is that for specifically? Because the benefits of going green, that could be for anybody. Is that for corporations? Is that for individuals? Who's that for, Ray? Mari, becoming a vegan athlete. I love it. So who specifically is that for, Mari? Is it for people who are already vegans and they want to become more athletic? Is it for people who want to lose weight? Is it for people who want to become Olympic athletes? So tell me specifically who's that for, Mari, and then tell me, Mari, where would you ultimately like to speak, where you think your customers will be listening? Kenneth wants to do a keynote on how to innovate and manage digital innovation for senior executives. All right, I like it. Where would you like to give that talk, Kenneth? Would that be at a YPO meeting, which stands for Young Presidents Organizations? Where would you like to give that talk, Kenneth? Jeff says designing your own website for women over 30. Okay, that's a very large audience, Jeff. Is this for women who are already business owners? Is it for entrepreneurial women? Is it for women who just want to create some part-time income working from home? Be a little bit more specific, Jeff, and then tell me where you would most like to give this keynote speech, Jeff. Michelle, resilient living. Okay, so who's it for? Where would you like to give that talk, Michelle? Kenneth would like to give the talk at the Ritz-Carlton. Well, that's nice. Awesome, Kenneth. Tell me, what is the organization that would be most likely to sponsor you in that particular talk? Charlotte, how to create a supplemental income line as a post-retirement career. Okay, cool. Who would want to host you at that talk, Charlotte? And Ray, who would want to host you there? John, okay, retirement communities, great. So there's a lot of those, John. What would be, get a little bit more specific of retirement communities that are specifically looking for this. Pam, how to train new managers, audience, small business owners. Okay, what organizations are looking for those kinds of talks, Pam? What associations are looking for those kinds of talks? And Kenneth would like to give the talk at Chief Technology Officer, Chief Information Officer meetups. Okay, good. Kenneth, you're the first guy that has that. That sounds like it'll totally work. You can absolutely look at local meetups for Chief Technology Officers, Chief Information Officers. That would be the perfect place for you to do it. Good job, Kenneth. Mari, it's for women over 50 who are active and want to transition to a vegan lifestyle. Love it. Okay, that's very specific, Mari. I'd like to have my own workshop. Awesome. So where would you find those people? What organization, Mari? What association? Are there local meetups who have those kind of people? Maybe there are, for example, Mari, women who are 50 plus meetup groups of people who want to do triathlons and also want to be vegan, perhaps. I'm sure you could find something like that out there. Kenneth, I hope the bank and wealth management executives. Okay. Denise, Real Passion Revolution. Okay, Charlotte, Rotary Group. Good. I love it, Charlotte. And Charlotte, try and name a few more. You're totally on the right track. Michelle, this is for people who are ready to take their lives to the next level after a setback. So SHRM, Society for Human Resource Managers, Women's Networks, etc. And good, Michelle, you're on the right track. Go a little bit more specific, like Pam just did. Rotary, Vistage, YPO. Awesome. You guys are totally on the right track. Okay, I love it. So now, how do you go about creating your own webinar here? So what I'm doing here is I'm laying out an outline that I have discovered. This works extremely well. It's worked extremely well for us to create this outline. And this is the exact same outline that I use when I do all of my talks, okay? And so I'm going to show you, and I've got some pretty cool fill in the blank pieces for you here, along with some images. And I'll be happy to give you guys this template for those of you who want it. But let me jump in before I give you the link to that. I'm just going to jump in and start walking you through this. Okay, so the first thing that's important is on the webinar, I'm going to break up the webinar into a few pieces, okay? And I'm going to break them up into manageable pieces, okay? So the first, got to have a title, of course. And I really like it when you have a webinar title with a big promise, okay? So what I'd like to see from you here is just take a stab at what is your webinar title that contains a big promise. Okay, so let me give you an example. If I would say, make 6 figures working from anywhere, or how to make 6 figures a year living and working from anywhere. Now that's a webinar title that contains a big promise. Do you want to make 6 figures and be able to have the time, money, and freedom to live and work from anywhere in the world? Like that's a bold promise. That's going to really capture people's attention. So do me a favor right now, go to the questions box and just take a stab at it. I don't care if you haven't thought this through yet. This is a brainstorming session. So Pam, Michelle, Charlotte, Denise, Kenneth, Mari, everybody, right now, go to the questions box and take a stab at the name of your webinars and create a title that has a big promise in it. And don't worry about whether it's good or whether it's right or that you haven't thought about this yet. Don't worry about any of that. This is the place to just brainstorm. Okay, so right now, go into the questions box and write your webinar title with your big promise, all right? So now, one of the sections here of the webinar itself is you want to break it up and you want to first off let people know why they should watch. This is really important. I see a lot of people get this wrong, or when they start a webinar, they take 10 minutes on their background and their resume, and I've been guilty of this in the past. And when we take the reality is people really don't care. They don't care about our resume. They care about themselves and what it is that they want. So you want to tell them right up front, and you want to do it on one slide. You want to do it very quickly, maybe 2 or 3 slides if you have a lot of like really positive benefits, but you want to let them know why they should watch your webinar. So let me see, I'm going to go and read a couple of these. So Michelle says, this is for people who are ready to take their lives to the next level after a setback. Okay, so give me the title, Michelle. And Pam, Jeff, understanding website design without the mumbo jumbo. Okay, cool. All right, good. You're on the right track. Give me, it'd be nice to have a, give me a bigger promise, how to create a winning website, simple steps to create a high converting website, for example, Jeff. But you did a great job there. I love that you gave it a stab. So going and just give it another go. Kenneth, how to own and leverage high ranking employees. Okay. How to own, and I understand how to leverage high-ranking employees. I don't fully understand the word own in that context, so give it another shot. Charlotte, retirement income supplementation, supplement your retirement income from anywhere in the world. All right, I like it. There you go. Pam, polish your best and profit wildly. What does that mean? I don't understand what polish your best means, Pam. Can you try that again? Just so I can understand what it is. Ray, how to save and make green at the same time. Okay, cool. You're on the right track, Ray. See if you can make it, because if you say how to save and make green, some people might think that make green means like make money. So see if you can say it again in a clear way that's impossible to misunderstand. Denise, revolutionary relationship tools for healed, healthy, happy relationships. Okay, cool. Michelle, bounce back, baby. Take your life to the next level. Awesome, Michelle. Tell me, who is that for? That's I love the enthusiasm in the title, but who is that for? It's not clear in the title. Okay, good. You guys are doing great. So I've got to have your webinar title with the big promise here. And hang on just a second. I'm going to go back to this. So then what I want you to do now is go ahead in the questions box and tell people why they should watch. So tell me why somebody should bother to take the time to watch the webinar. Okay, so for example, you should watch this webinar right now because you're going to learn how to have a high converting webinar. We're going to teach you how to double, triple, quadruple your sales with your high converting webinar. I'm going to show you how to have a webinar that's going to knock people's socks off. I'm going to show you how to create a keynote speech that will get you booked on stages anywhere. I'm going to show you how to create a talk that will book yourself solid, book your calendar solid. Those are examples of all reasons why you should watch this webinar. So right now, go and write in the questions box and tell me why people should watch your webinar. Why should people get your watch your webinar, watch your seminar, listen to your keynote talk? Why should they spend their valuable time listening to you? And I'm going to go over Maria's webinar title, Authentic Love, Clearing Energy of Past Relationships to Create Space for Authentic Love. Oh, I like it. Cool. Charlotte, this webinar will teach you how to double, triple, or 10x your retirement income. Bam. There you go, Charlotte. Yeah, now you're talking. That's a good reason to watch your webinar. Okay, so you want to, essentially this slide is selling people on, you already got them in here, now you need to keep them in. This is, you're selling people on why they should watch, for the next, however long your webinar is. Maybe it's 15 minutes, maybe it's 30 minutes, maybe it's an hour, whatever it is, why they should spend their valuable time. So go right now to the questions box and tell me, just write in the bullet points, what's the benefit of watching your webinar? Michelle, because they're going to learn how to move past emotional pain and have the courage to start again. Okay, good. Tim, get inside info on how to showcase and present your home on stage spotlight in a category of one where there's no perceived competition or price limit. Do you sell real estate, Tim? Is that what that is? If that's the case, cool, got it. Okay, good. For anybody else who wants to put it in and wants me to look at their information on why they should watch their webinar, go ahead and put it in and I'll give you some feedback. Kenneth, you should watch to strategically manage your time and value. Okay. Give me something a little bit more juicy, Kenneth. You're on the right track, but go one step farther. Jeff, sack your web designer and take back control of your biggest marketing asset. Bam. Nice job, Jeff. I like it. Okay, so you want to tell people why they should watch. Okay, so this is the benefit of why they should watch. And then the next is, what is it that you're going to learn? Okay, and these are usually two different things. So don't confuse these, because a lot of times people will put these two things together. So why they should listen to you, and then what is it that they're going to learn? So if I say why you should listen to me, you should listen to this webinar on how to create your keynote talk so that you can completely fill your calendar with high-end one-on-one sales calls. What are you going to learn? You're going to learn how to give a keynote talk that you can present anywhere, and you're going to get the downloadable template that allows you to fill in the blanks and create your own. There you go. It's very clear, simple. Why and what are two different things, but they're both, now you're just making it very clear on what the information is. And it's really important to have that distinction and to put it right there up front so that people know what it is that they're getting into. And this gets them really engaged, okay? And what you will learn, I like to put this in the context of benefits, okay? So if I'm gonna say what you're gonna learn how to give a webinar, or you're gonna learn how to create a keynote talk, I'm gonna give a benefit of that. You're gonna learn how to give a keynote talk so that you can fill your calendar with high-end one-on-one consultations. You can also give this keynote talk anywhere. And because you have such an amazing keynote talk, you can get booked on stages all over the world, which will allow you to live and work from anywhere, okay? So you can give benefits to your keynote talk And go right ahead. Here's what you will learn plus benefit number 1, benefit number 2, benefit number 3. And you want to do this because this is what's going to keep people's attention. This is what's going to keep them in. And I also wanted you to notice something, that the way these slides are, see how you have a huge picture that goes all the way to the edge? That's called a full bleed photo. And all that means is the image goes all the way to the sides. I haven't cropped the image so that it's within the borders of the frame. It goes all the way out to the borders of the frame. And then notice how few, words here. In this case, there's one word. In this case, there's, a couple words. But notice how there's so few words. And the font is huge. I think the font is like, a 90-point or maybe it's a 100-point font. And the point of this is so that it does not look like your typical PowerPoint. Your typical PowerPoint has lots of bullet points. A lot of people, I think the biggest mistake that people make, I call it death by PowerPoint. The biggest mistake that I think a lot of people make is they try and use PowerPoint as a crutch so that they can essentially just read off of the slides. And you'll see slides that look a lot more like a document where there's small font, there's tons of bullet points. Nobody wants to watch you read all the words on a slide. They could do that themselves. So in this case, we're using this template to give you the visually appealing component that you need. And you want to use the images that help bolster what it is that you're saying. The images can help create an emotional charge. They can help draw people in and be very visually appealing, but you don't want to just read a bunch of bullet points on a slide. In fact, nobody wants to do that. So I'm going to go through and let me just ask. So Charlotte says, you'll learn the tools and strategies that you'll give freedom to your schedule to own your own time while having the money to do what you have always wanted. Good. Pam, audience is business owners. Why? Sleep soundly, knowing your Delta 6 team is in charge. Cool. Ray, this webinar will teach you healthy benefits of going green, and we'll show you how to make money while going green. Nice. You totally nailed it, Ray. Okay, good. And so, guys, go right now, go to the questions box, and write in an additional 2 more benefits of watching your webinar. So you guys gave us 1 benefit. Give me a benefit number 2, and give me a benefit number 3. So like Maria, why they should watch. Are you stuck with your ex past the time you're no longer together? What are the benefits of the webinar? Benefit number 1, learn how your past is presenting you from moving forward. Good. Benefit number 2, release the tension that you feel. Benefit number 3, clear the pain of the breakup. Excellent. Nice work, Maria. So everybody else, go ahead and write benefit number 2 and benefit number 3. This is going to be really valuable to you. Okay? Now we're going to move on to the next section. And this next section is what I like to call the hero's journey. And what a huge mistake that I see almost everybody make when they're giving a webinar talk, they're giving their signature talk, is they will start out in the beginning of the presentation by essentially telling their resume. Here's where I worked. Here was my, my job in 2000, and then I moved to this career in 2006, and then I moved to this career in 2012. Nobody cares. People simply don't care about our resume. What do they care about? They care about themselves. However, it is really important for us to establish our own credibility. So how do we do that in a way that really deeply connects with the clients, keeps them interested, so that they don't want to bounce out and fall asleep and or just start texting on their phone and stop listening to you if you're giving the presentation in person. And the way that I like to do that is through the hero's journey. Now, if you've never heard of the hero's journey before, this is the hero's journey has been around for, and I apologize, I can't remember the name of the author that coined the term, the hero's journey, but they looked up the guy who came up with the term. He studied lots and lots of the most famous texts and stories. I mean, everything from the Bible to the Iliad and the Odyssey, written by Homer over 2,000 years ago, and just looked at all of these stories and all the way up to today. I mean, Hollywood movies follow the exact same hero's journey pattern. And what he discovered is that there's an archetype that we call our hero, who follows along a journey. In all of these famous stories, it's very, very similar. And you can relate this to your own life. And in this story, you are the subject. So you're the hero. Now don't worry. We're not bragging. We're not, this is not like about self-aggrandizing. We're not telling everybody that we're heroes and how great and wonderful. It's really just the name of your story told in this way, okay? And it starts like this. You start out in the ordinary world. It's the world that everybody knows. It's the world that we all live in. And then something happened to you. And there was some call to adventure. Something happened, okay? Something in your life, all right? For me, my ordinary world was I was a financial advisor. And my call to adventure was my brother got sick. He was diagnosed with terminal lung cancer, and he was given 9 months to live. And that diagnosis was my call to adventure. And it was also a major challenge, which leads us to our next part. We want to talk about your major challenge. Okay, so in my case, my brother ended up passing away, sadly, and that changed my life forever. And I sold my business. I moved down to Costa Rica, and I took a major risk. I bought a $3 million property with $2 million proceeds from the sale of my business, and I purchased the property in 2007. Right before the 2008 global financial crisis. That was my second major challenge, okay? And then you confront your biggest fear. My biggest fear was I was going to lose everything that I invested 10 years of my life working to build the business. I sold the business after I lost my brother. I moved into this new venture, and then the global financial crisis happened. My biggest fear was that I was going to lose everything. Okay, so whatever your biggest fear is, and then this is about your story of conquering that biggest fear. And everybody can relate to this story. This is the classic hero's journey story. And then there was some reward. You broke through. You overcame your big challenge or your big fear, whatever it was. For us, we started marketing our Costa Rican wellness project on Facebook, and we ended up making 7 sales for a total of $1.5 million in under 12 months. And we saved the property, we saved the business. That was our big reward. And I'm telling this in the context of a story. And through that process, I learned how to get customers off of Facebook. And now I am returning with the elixir. I'm returning with this special new knowledge that I learned on my hero's journey. And I'm going to give it to you. And I'm going to now tell you about your new future, because now that I learned this, I'm going to teach you, and you can use this information to create your own new future, to create a business filled with customers, to get all those customers coming to you so you can have a business that allows you to live and work from anywhere. Okay, that's the hero's journey. Okay, so that's the hero's journey. So you've got your ordinary world, call to adventure, your major challenge, confront your biggest fear, your reward, return with the elixir, and now you paint the picture for your customer's new challenge. So Maria, I just went through it again. And by the way, you guys are going to get these slides here. I'm going to give them to you in a bit. So that's the hero's journey. Okay, and so remember, this is in place. This is in place of what the mistake that almost everybody else makes when they give a keynote talk or they give some kind of a presentation where they go through and they tell their resume. What this does, this hero's journey, is it allows you to establish your credibility, It allows you to create this deep connection with your audience. Stories like this, real stories about you, are riveting. The people will listen. Everybody loves the hero's journey story. So I can establish my credibility without boring everybody with my resume. I can let people know that I can teach them what they came here to learn, and I can do it without bragging. When you tell the story, you're not bragging, you're just telling the story. Okay. So what I'd like to do is go into the chat right now, and let me think about this. I think it's going to be too long for people to try and tell their hero's journey story, but go ahead and write in what questions you have about your hero's journey story. What are the questions that you have about creating the hero's journey story? Because this has been just one of the most valuable pieces of information that I learned when I'm giving a keynote talk. If I really want to connect with my audience, I give them the hero's journey, and it just works so well. It's incredible. I've loved how well this works. So if you have a question about creating the hero's journey story, go ahead and ask me, and I will do my best to answer it. Okay, so let's go on. So remember, that's how you connect with your audience. Now, the next section that we're going to go into, that you're going to go into, is now you've told people, you've given them the big promise in the title of your webinar. You've taught them why they should listen to you. You've told them what you're going to teach them. You've told them your hero's journey. Now it's time to teach them what they came to learn. Now, I want to give away the highest quality, most valuable information that I possibly can. For any of you who've been on my webinars before, or any of you who's followed me before, hopefully you know I give away a lot of valuable stuff. And I don't ask people to buy stuff in return. You didn't have to pay to be on this webinar. What I do is I just give away as much value, and then I extend an invitation. Now, the invitation might be, if you want to come to my live event, and I'm going to give you a special link for a discount, that's an invitation. But I'm mentioning this because a lot of times I see people, when they are creating their signature talk and their keynote, they want to withhold the most valuable portions of it. And that's a big mistake. A lot of people will say, well, I can't just give this away. I have to sell this thing, whatever this is for them. And I'm going to tell you that that's a big mistake. I'm going to tell you what you really should do is you should just give it away. Whatever your highest value information is, give it away, and give it away for free. Okay, so you'd put in, here's your high value lesson number 1. And here is how to do it. So what I'm going to ask you guys, let me just, I'm going to hit the escape button here for a second. So let me go back here for a second. Dominique says, what if you feel like your story isn't applicable to the story your audience might connect to, i.e. a professional background that is not applicable to what your audience might connect to? Well, Dominique, what I would say is that I'm sure you have a story, and you can create your hero's journey to make it applicable to what your audience might connect to. So, for example, I have a professional background, and I created my story. If I were worried that people wouldn't connect to my story because it might be not exactly the same story as you, then nobody would ever have a successful hero's journey story. Meaning, most people haven't gone through exactly what I've been through, haven't maybe, maybe you can relate to losing someone special to cancer, but maybe you can't relate to selling your financial advisory business and buying a $3 million wellness community in Costa Rica, almost going bankrupt twice, and then, saving it by the skin of your teeth through Facebook marketing. Those are very specific things. However, the story, the hero's journey, everyone can relate to. everyone can relate to um, the call to adventure. Everyone can relate to a major challenge. Everyone can relate to confronting a biggest fear. Everyone can relate to, busting through and having some kind of success. Everybody wants to root for the hero. And in this case, you're the hero. And then you come back with something special, and now you're going to help somebody new. So don't worry about it, Dominique. You can most certainly make it work. Maria, a question. My life is very complex. Do we keep the hero's journey only on the subject of the webinar product I am selling? Maria, I would say don't worry about it. I would put your story together in the and just try and keep it in the context of the webinar or program you're selling. And just remember, whatever you confronted your biggest fear, you got the reward, and now you're returning with the elixir. Your customers want the elixir. Whatever your webinar is, your product, they want the elixir. This is the thing that you learned on your journey. So don't worry about having to tell every last detail of your hero's journey. Just come up with your story. And by the way, I tell the hero's journey, I usually do it in 5 minutes. Now, occasionally I get asked to speak for a long time. Most of the time when I'm talking, it's like 30 to 45 minutes. And if that's the case, then I tell my hero's journey in 5 minutes. Sometimes people ask me to speak for 2 hours. In that case, I'm going to tell my hero's journey in a 15-minute period of time. But I would say you want to be able to tell this story, in about the 5-minute range. If you have a really long presentation, maybe about the 10-minute range, something like that. Maria, because I will teach you a proven system to become a sexy vegan athlete in 90 days. Awesome, Mari. So, in your case, you would talk about the whatever the elixir is, or whatever you learned, Mari, that made you a sexy vegan athlete in 90 days. That's the elixir that you're going to teach there, Mari. And Michelle, this is what I struggle with. My story doesn't seem compelling to me, although the process I take my clients through is life-changing. Michelle, I think almost everybody initially thinks that their own story isn't interesting. In this case, we are our own worst critics. I guarantee you your story is interesting. You just may not know it yet. And so when you go and tell your story, ask yourself, what was your big call to adventure? What was your major challenge? What was the big fear that you confronted, your reward, and then what was the elixir that you were returning with, Michelle? So the next section is high value lessons. So what I want to see now is go ahead and write, what is your highest value lesson? And don't give me the whole lesson, just give me a 1-sentence descriptor of what the lesson is, okay? So for example, if I'm teaching people how to make 6 figures, how to live and work from anywhere, I'm going to teach people a coaching business model that helps you make $10,000 a month with just 11 clients, and you only have to work 14 hours a month, okay? That's what I'm going to teach you. That's my high value lesson. That's like the highest value lesson I can give you. That's the most valuable thing I can teach you. And that's it. So what I want you to do in your high value lesson is give me the most valuable thing. Just describe it to me in 1 sentence or whatever. Just describe to me the most valuable lesson that you're going to be teaching on your signature talk. Okay, Michelle, accept 100% responsibility for your loaf. Life? Okay, I assume that's what you meant. So I assume you have a lesson, Michelle. I assume you have a lesson about how to accept 100% responsibility for your loaf, Michelle. I'm just kidding. But the lesson is what's really critical here. So you want to have a super high valuable lesson. It can't be trivial. It can't be, we're not talking about tips or tricks here, or little things. People are investing maybe 45 minutes to an hour of their valuable time. you got to bring it. You got to give it to them. Just give it to them. And I don't care, if you've had any fear before about giving away too much, this is the time to give it away. So what are you going to give away? What is your highest, number one, most valuable lesson? Janet, trust yourself above the opinions of others for your life. Okay, so does that mean you have a lesson where you're going to teach people how to trust themselves, and that's going to be the thing that's going to help them get what they really want? Okay. Michelle, yes, I do. In seminars, it actually takes 2 hours. Okay, but you have like 10 minutes here. So you can't take 2 hours to teach this valuable lesson in your signature talk. Charlotte, I'm not seeing my answers. I don't know what you mean, Charlotte. Janet, yes. Okay, good. All right, you guys are rocking it. Maria, most valuable lesson: tools and exercise to clear the energy of your ex through each of your chakras and all that involves your life so that you're ready with all your being to accept and welcome authentic love into your life. Bam. Nice work, Maria. That is pretty hot. I like it. Dominique, how to build an attractive brand that keeps your audience coming back for more and more. Awesome. Good. All right, you guys are doing great. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to teach your high value lesson number one. And this is going to be the meat of your presentation. Now I said to somebody before, I understand your big picture information might take you 2 hours to teach, but you do not have 2 hours in this context. Most of the time you're giving a keynote talk, you got about 45 minutes. So the bulk of your presentation is going to be on your lesson. It needs to be good, and you got to bring it. So I teach high value lesson number one, and here is how to do it. Now, if my talk is 60 minutes long, I might sneak in high value lesson number two. All right, and then how to do it. If my talk is going to be 75 minutes long, I might throw in high value lesson number three. Okay, and how to do it. All right. So that's the idea. But remember, if I only have 30 minutes to do my talk, that means I have about time to teach one lesson and how to do it. Now that lesson might consist of 4 or 5 or 6 slides, but it's going to be one lesson. I'm going to teach one thing, and I'm going to make it the highest valuable possible. So I'm not going to try and teach a big mistake, and I have trouble with this one because I always want to give more, but a big mistake in a presentation is try and give away too much information, try and teach too much, because people get full. It gets overwhelming, okay? High value lesson number one. So if it's a longer presentation, give them 2 lessons. If it's longer still, give them 3 lessons, okay? I love teaching some kind of system or formula as part of one of my lessons. I want to give somebody something that's just going to really knock their socks off, that they can write down and they are really going to remember out of this presentation. So let's see, Charlotte says, you'll learn 3 qualities you need in order to dominate the business. Great. Oh, Michelle can do it in 10 minutes. Good. Janet, I teach people how to get out of their heads and into their heart, make decisions from their knowing heart. Love it. Awesome. Okay, cool. So here, I like to give this amazing formula, something that they can write down, and that's really going to knock their socks off and allow them to, have an awesome takeaway. It's really important if you really want to have a powerful webinar that people are going to remember in signature talk, and you're going to want people at the end of this, you're going to want people to sign up and schedule a one-on-one appointment with you. That's what you want. Okay, in order to do that, you're going to need to give some customer success stories. Okay, so you got to talk about your customers who have used what it is that you just taught them, and they got the benefit that you are selling, right? Okay. Whatever it is. So if I'm teaching how to give webinar presentations, I can talk about my client John, who took this exact template. he went out and gave his presentation to a small group of people. It was an in-person presentation. There was only 20 people in the audience. He got 8 people to sign up for a one-on-one consultation, and he made 2 sales for a total of $12,000 using exactly what it is that you're learning right now, okay? That's an example of a customer success story, right? So make sure that you put in a customer success story, because this makes it real and believable and shows people that other people can get results. I am a big fan of giving away a free gift, okay? One thing that you can give away is your slides, all right? So slides work great, all right? Let me give you an example. If you want to get these slides that you are looking at right now, go into the questions box and write the word slides. If you want to get these slides, go into the questions box right now and write the word slides. So you can give away any kind of a free gift, but you want your free gift to be compelling. You want your free gift to be valuable. You want your free gift to be something that everybody in the audience is going to want to opt into. All right, and in doing that, that's how you get people. That's how you collect email addresses. That's how you get people to opt in, and so on. Okay, so this is really awesome. So you can see here, everybody's writing the word slides, slides, slides. So if everybody else, if you write the word slides, I'll go ahead and pop in the link to get these slides so that you guys can just download these and have them for yourself. Slides are a great thing to give away in exchange for an email address. In this case, I have all of your email addresses already, so I don't need a new one. But if I did not, then I would give away a free gift where you would have to opt in to get the slides, okay? So in this example here, I'm gonna give you the link, okay? So I just popped in the link. If you click on that link, you can go and get the slides. So next section here is then I find it very valuable to give away an action exercise, all right? Some kind of an action exercise. You just taught people how to do the thing that you're teaching them. Now you need to give them an action so that they actually get it done and do it. So one thing you may have noticed is throughout this presentation, I've been giving you guys mini action exercises, like saying, go into the questions box and write the title of your webinar. Go into the questions box and give me a descriptor of your free, not your free gift, but the thing that you're going to be teaching, okay? For example, those are mini action exercises. You can also give away sort of a bigger one at the end, and when I say give away, you want to tell people exactly what to do. For example, go to the link that I just gave you, download, get these slides, and make your own, go in and just make your own slides using this template. That's a great action exercise that I just gave you right there, right? So right now, go into the questions box and give me an example of what action exercise you would like to give away in your keynote talk. And when I say give away, what I mean to say is you're going to tell people to do a particular exercise. So let's do a little bit of brainstorming. Right now, go into the questions box and give me an example of an action exercise that you can give people to do. So for some of you, it might be able to create a meditation. Create a little mantra, and this is going to be your 2-minute meditation. For some of you, it's going to be, write down your 3 key web pages that you're going to need in your website design. For some of you, it's going to be like me, write down your action exercises for your keynote talk. But right now, go into the questions box and write down what your action exercise is. Okay. Then now you're almost at the end, and now it's time to transition to the offer. Okay. And in this case, what I'm going to tell you to do is, instead of initially trying to sell something, you don't want to do one-to-many sales, like you to a webinar full of people. You don't want to do that until you get good at one-on-one. And what I recommend to people is that in your offer, you're going to tell people to book a one-on-one call with you. Zuzu, I put it there. I put the link in the chat for everybody to grab. I'll put it in again so you guys can get it. So John says, make a list of all the people you'd like to be guardians of your children if something happens to you. Bam, you got it, John. Totally nailed. Janet, fill in the 4 keys to live and leave a legacy. Awesome, totally got it. Maria, action exercise. Repeat a clearing mantra 5 times a day. Sweet. Excellent. You guys are rocking this. Nice work. Okay, so let me go back here. I want to grab one thing, and we're getting right to the end. So when you get to the transition, your offer is going to be transitioning to people to a one-on-one strategy session. Okay, a one-on-one strategy session. You can do, before I had 260,000 followers, all of my one-on-one strategy sessions were free. All right, so the first, I'm now 6 years into my business, but the first year of my business, I pretty much always make a free one-on-one strategy session. Now when I do that, my calendar is way too full. I simply can't do that anymore. Now when I do strategy sessions, I charge $197 for the strategy session. But it's important for you when you transition to your offer, you need to create value. All right, so in your strategy session, you need to tell people, what are they going to get? What are they going to get in your strategy session? Are they going to learn how to create, attract a new relationship? Are they going to learn how to clear the blocks from an old relationship? Are they going to learn how to create retirement income, love themselves again, create a new website, get new customers? What are they going to learn in your one-on-one strategy session? And this is how you need to motivate them to sign up with you, because make no mistake about it, even though you're selling a one-on-one free strategy session, you still need to motivate people to sign up. And again, I literally built my business from scratch up to 7 figures by starting out with free strategy sessions. Now we're to the point where I just can't do the free strategy sessions anymore because we have too many of them. But you need to motivate your customers and tell them what's in it for them if they get on the one-on-one strategy session with you. So for example, if you get on a one-on-one strategy session with me, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to quickly get your business from $0 to $10,000 a month, and how I'm going to show you exactly how we did it. I'm going to give you the exact steps, the specific instructions in your niche, how to get it to $10,000 a month so that you can live and work from anywhere. And you're going to get that one-on-one with me, right? And then I'm going to give you a link to book the schedule. Click here, click on this link, and you can actually book a time with me, one-on-one, okay? Keep in mind, there's limited spaces. Not everybody will get a space, all right? I've got a, I've got an email list of 55,000 people. I got 260,000 followers. Now, in your case, you would say, hey, if I was giving a talk to a room full of 20 people, I would say, hey, look, we're going to do this for the first 4 people who sign up. You're going to get a 45-minute one-on-one consultation. Anybody else after that gets a 15-minute one-on-one consultation, for example, okay? And you need to click here to book now. Whoops. You just want to click here to book now so that we can get started, so that I can help you build your business, and let's get started working together, okay? And so this is where you want to let people know you're going to help them with whatever it is that they want. You're going to help together. Maybe you're going to help them find their dream home. You're going to do it together. Maybe you're going to help them make more money through retirement. Maybe you're going to help them lose weight. Maybe you're going to help them find the relationship, heal blocks, design a website. Doesn't matter what it is. You're going to do it together. And you've got some awesome knowledge that they value. You're going to do it together. Okay, so that's the template. That's the template right there. And so let me go through. Maria says, action exercises, repeat clearing mantra 5 times a day. I love it. Charlotte, research 3 people who have made it in your field and find out how they got started. Good. I like it. Kenneth, create action lists. Awesome. Okay, you guys are totally rocking it. So one thing, if you guys got value out of this and you would like to actually work one-on-one with me, go to the questions box and write the words one-on-one, and I will actually give you a link. You got value out of this and you're interested in working one-on-one with me to learn how to get your business to $10,000 a month, I'm going to give you a link. And this part's actually real. I actually will give you a link. So let me go to Charlotte. You will discover how you can get in the front door of a business system that will give you the freedom you want. We can work together to create what will. Yeah, totally. And Kenneth, creating action lists. Yeah, you guys are totally rocking. Great. So if you guys got value out of this and you're interested in working one-on-one with me, go into the questions box and write the words value or write the words one-on-one. So hopefully you got value out of this. I always enjoy teaching this. I kind of geek out over it. This is like my favorite topic to teach, and teach people how to grow their business and create an awesome, like really compelling signature talk that's really going to motivate people. So with that, I'm going to sign off. I will give you the scheduling link. And if you're interested in signing up on a one-on-one with me, you can click on that scheduling link. And with that, we will see you next week, same time, same place on this call. And I cannot wait to see you there. And I cannot wait to see the signature talks that you guys create for yourself. Much love. Thank you very much. You are very cool too, Maria. Thank you, Janet. Thank you, everybody. All right. Have an awesome week. Namaste.